What is up, guys? Back at you once again. It is your boy and new reigning champion, Chin That Freakin Mark. Hey, what a hell of a weekend of wrestling we had, right? Not sure if you caught these belts. Did I emphasize that I'm the champ? Yeah. Also, Monday Night Raw happened. I guess we should probably get into that too, right? So we have this here episode of Monday Night Raw kicking off with Baron Corbin in ring, introducing his boss, Stephanie McMahon. Introduces her, kissing a bunch of ass. And all that really leads into is Baron just being like, hey, remember how we had talked about if Raw takes home the victory, how I could be a little bit more than a temporary GM, more like a permanentary GM? Remember that, Steph? Steph's like, in mesh. I don't think Steph even gets a chance to talk before Strowman comes out to be like, hands. Corbin's gonna get some hands. I'm gonna lay down some hands. Because Steph, remember all those promises you were making? One of them was if I led Raw home for a victory, that I was gonna be able to smash aside Corbin. So can I do that now, or what? Steph gives him the match, but like in a pretty half-assed way. She's like, yeah, rather than giving it to you right here, right now, tonight, like you clearly want, I'm gonna give it to you at TLC with a bunch of stipulations attached to it. One of those stipulations being that if by some miracle Corbin pulls a victory out of his ass, then you know what? He can take being a full-time GM. You know what? I'd have to say he would probably deserve it by that point. If that doesn't happen to be the case, though, Strowman's going to get himself his Universal Championship match that he also was guaranteed against Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. So, yeah, not a bad deal for Strowman on that one, I'd have to say. Did I mention that if Corbin loses that match, he gets absolutely no authority, no full-time GM, no authority? You go back to being a guy that just gets booed on the regular and people don't like Corbin. And then Corbin's like, you know what? Well, I am still the acting GM of this show and I have a little bit of authority, so I'm going to have to run that as a power play real fast. I'm going to make a handicap match against you, Braun, because I don't really like you. And I have to make a power move at this point. And Steph's like, nah, I am the master of the power move, and I am going to one-up your handicap match with a 6-man tag team match. What up? That match itself being the heel team of Lashley, McIntyre, and Corbin getting off of his fat ass and actually doing something for once, versus the mostly face team of Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Elias. You see how I said mostly face team there. And since this is a constant back and forth pissing match, during the break Corbin's just like, well, I do still have some power, so this is actually an elimination 6-man tag team match. Brother, what's up? The match itself just has a lot of back and forth. Braun straight up uses Finn as a weapon at one point, and Braun and Finn also have like a rocket power woogity section in there, borderline, trying to get a tag in. Sorry, it was hard for me to get the woogity in with all this gold I have distributed around me, but you know, it's the price you pay sometimes. I know I've mentioned this in the past, but WWE does not know how to book Finn Balor worth a shit, and they proved it once again during this match because he was the first person eliminated. Maybe they'll get it figured out one of these days. We did have a nice little callback to those weeks not too long ago where Lio Rush was just flipping all over the place. He was flipping over Elias on the outside of the ring, which led into Lashley just completely spearing his ass on the outside, which then led into a lot of leading into going on here, but it led into a count out on the outside. You got counted out, Elias. Sorry. Heel team is on that heel game, for sure. And then you know what, since we're on that heel game, McIntyre's like, you know what, I don't even really give a fuck about this match. I'm just gonna hit you with a chair shot. I can't remember who it is with a chair. It was Elias, maybe? Maybe it was Strowman? It was someone. Someone got hit with a chair on McIntyre's doing, and then that chair shot really just led into an all-out Strowman beatdown. Because he's the big man on campus, and you gotta do something to take him down, right? And they did. There was like a belt There was some more chair shots, I think. There was some stairs. There was stairs. Let's talk about those stairs for a second. Those stairs led into... No. So what it was laying Strowman's arm out for a second there, and then just beating it down with stairs. That's really what happened. Strowman was yelling about not being able to feel his fingers, so let's hope that is all kayfabe. At the end of the night, WWE gets super serious and says that it's a shattered elbow, so let's hope that's all it is. And also, since we're hoping, let's hope that it's not going to affect that TLC match that was literally just announced. We next up have Seth Rollins in the ring cutting a promo. What about Dean Ambrose? Of course, because he's super butthurt about Dean Ambrose and he really just can't get over it. And honestly, I think he just can't wait for that match at TLC because that's what he's yabbing on about. And then you know what happens? He calls him out. Dean doesn't show up. He shows up on the Tron though, just being like, look at you getting all riled up thinking that I'm gonna show up there. I'm obviously not gonna do that, idiot. Then he's saying that everyone's getting what they deserve, getting that cheap heat by bringing up Roman in the case. Everyone's booing because it's the cheapest of heat. Dean's like, you know what, bro? Just come find me. I'm right here. You can see where I am. Come find me, as he just shows some shot backstage. Seth Rollins books it backstage to go find Ambrose. When we get back there, Seth Rollins is like, yo, where's Ambrose? Where's Ambrose? And he just starts beating down on the security. That's uncalled for. You didn't have to go do that, Seth. You really didn't have to go do that, Seth. We then next up have ourselves a match between the somewhat friends of Sasha Banks and Bayley versus the new definitely friends of Nia Jax and Tamina. We had Alexa Bliss on commentary for this match. It was kind of hilarious because Alexa and Corey were just ganging up on Cole the whole time on commentary, just being real dicks. So way to go, guys. Always about that, right? Be a star. The match gets leading up to a hot tag for Bayley, and then she gets that hot tag, and she's all super excited about it, and it don't mean jack shit, because she gets what I like to call super kick-a-sized. Look it up in the dictionary, motherfucker. The fans are also basically booing everything Nia Jax does, and because of that, Nia Jax is gonna end up the match here with a big ol' Samoan drop to Bayley. Heels win. Heel game. Fuck you, Bayley. Not tonight. So, Charlie Caruso is about to introduce what sounds like it's going to be Baron Corbin, and then gets cut off via TV in the background from Dean Ambrose. And he has a message for Seth Rollins being like, yo, homeboy, if you want to find me in the place that the Shield calls home, brother. And that place is a stairwell, by the way. Seth goes and finds said stairwell, and he super kick-a-sizes the door open like a freaking boss, and there's nothing of relevance in there except psych. He goes and looks, and on the back end of that door is written, burn it down, which implies that Dean Ambrose was there and was most likely the person who wrote that on the back of the door, if you needed me to explain that to you. And then following that, guess what we have ourselves? That's right, motherfuckers, we done have ourselves a dick move. Who is the dick move going to this week? The dick move is going to everyone that is going to be in the lunchroom, in the eating establishment, in the area where the people who were employed by WWE eat and all felt the urge to make piss jokes to Drake Maverick. Here's the deal, bud. If you done pissed yourself in front of a live audience, that shit would be pretty embarrassing, straight up, and you probably wouldn't want to get reminded of it. Some of the jokes included, have you tried the peas? Slightly funny, not too funny. There was something in there about Drake being pissed, and then Bobby said something about bladder. It was a bit of a reach. For shame on that one, Bobby. I don't approve. But that did lead into a match later in the night, somewhat. Drake Maverick wasn't in the match. He should have been, though. Rockstar spudding it up. Because it's almost like they forgot that Drake Maverick is a credible opponent, right? It's like he was in that final deletion. He lost to a child. Is Drake Maverick a fucking joke? We then have ourselves a match between the Lucha House Party and the Revival, being contended under what I believe was being referred to as Lucha House Rules, or something along those lines, which basically means the Lucha House Party gets to use all their members, and the Revival only gets the Revival, 2 members. It seemed like that probably pissed Wilder off, because he went and started throwing a piñata. He didn't really dig that. This here caused the Luchas to do what they do best and just be super flippy as fuck the whole match. The piñata itself just again gets involved with the match because this is a serious competition. This is a serious sport we're dealing with here, where piñatas get involved. And then speaking of flips and things to that nature, Lince Dorado ends this match up with a shooting star press, cause we just needed like a big old grand master flip to end this bitch up for the night. Not for the night, but for the match. So we got Ronda Rousey cutting a promo next. Right off the bat, the crowd's cheering for Becky Lynch because they're all just a bunch of assholes, aren't they? Rousey's saying about how she's gonna make Nia tap at TLC, and then as soon as she's done with that, she's gonna come back with Charlotte because she's got some unfinished business there, doesn't she? Rousey gets like super freaking jazzed about being a champ and like really gets passionate about it, and the crowd's like, yeah, hell yeah, responding really well to it. It's like, no, they're still cheering for Becky. They don't give a shit. Rousey lays out an open challenge because she's just like, yo, if I can't defend my championship right here, right now, then I just really don't deserve to be the champ, do I? And Corbin comes out. What a total cock block. And he just says something, I don't know what kind of bullshit, I wasn't really paying attention. Rousey was just like, you know what, I'm not really listening to whatever you're saying, but do you want to wrestle right here? And the audience is just like, yes, yes. Make that match happen, WWE. Seriously, I want to see Ronda Rousey kick the holy hell out of Baron Corbin. That would be amazing. And then I think just the idea of that completely scares the shit out of Corbin, because he goes to the backstage being like, yep, I'm just going to go and find you an opponent now, so I'm going to go do that. Okay. So, Corbin found an opponent for Ronda Rousey. It was Mickie James. I don't think it really mattered who it was, because regardless, Ronda was going to dominate, and she did exactly that. The match consisted of Ronda dominating, and then she hit like 3 consecutive Piper's Pits, just completely beating the shit out of Mickie for the win there. After the match is done, Ronda finds her way all the way up to the entrance ramp, and then as she's all the way at the top there, Nia and Tamina come out to just be like, yeah, we're big and powerful, look at this face-breaking fist that I have here. Would you look at it? But would you look at it? They can keep saying that Nia Jax is a face breaker and that Becky Lynch has a broken face, but I got money saying that there's no way in hell Becky Lynch having a broken face is the properly correct medical term. Like, no way. Somebody prove me wrong. After that, we have a really short match, which is the follow-up from that dick move earlier in the night. It is Bobby and Gable versus AOPP. Haha, get it? That's actually what the crowd was chanting at one point in this match. AOPP, we all love P jokes. AOPP. Yeah, it was silly. It was kind of funny. But like, legit, Gable just wins out of nowhere with a sunset flip from like the second rope, I think. Those are your new tag team champions. I guess they look pretty dominant at Survivor Series, but okay, I didn't really get it. Dean Ambrose is backstage after that, and he's smelling something. He can't really figure out what it is, but he's almost positive that it's the stinky people that's in attendance for Raw. So that's a bit of a shot in the dark, but okay, whatever. And I think at this point, Seth Rollins is pretty much just giving up because he leaves for the night. Interviewer comes up and she's like, hey Seth, are you leaving for the night? And he's just like, yup. We have ourselves a match between Natalya and Ruby Riott. Just to remind you, Ruby Riott, like some kind of asshole, goes breaking Natalya's glasses that her dad, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, definitely gave her. He definitely gave her those glasses, and then they got broke on Raw. I don't understand why they keep letting the Riott Squad come out to ringside with Ruby Riott, because all they do is cause shenanigans. Sarah Logan was literally just like laying in the ring for like a solid minute, causing a distraction at one point. Liv Morgan pulls Ruby out of the sharpshooter. All these shenanigans don't really matter though, because Natalya just kind of gets away with a roll-up out of nowhere. She's like, Haha. Gotcha, bitches. After that, Dean Ambrose comes out to the ring because Seth Rollins is gone, so, you know, perfect time. And he still is just talking about how the people stink and they have dirty children. And, I mean, he's just talking mad shit on the crowd because apparently they really suck out there in LA. Seth Rollins returns, just hauling ass to get to the ring. He does exactly that, gets to the ring, and Ambrose is just like, oh shit, even though I saw him on the Tron running to the ring, now that he's here I don't really know what to do. So they just kind of scuffle for a bit. Rollins gets his spots in, and it's just like, you know what, Kapuya! Gonna low blow you right in the dick. And the night itself just kind of plays out on the whole Rollins and Ambrose angle. Whenever we get to this match at TLC, it's gonna be dope. I can tell you that one right now. But hey guys, that is most definitely gonna be it for this here nutshell of an episode of Monday Night Raw. It has been your new reigning champion, Chin That Freakin' Mark. Like, follow, share, and subscribe on all those juicy platforms. And I'll be hollering at you soon enough. Doses.